What's cracking, everybody? You're back with Mr. Berger, and tonight we're going to be taking a look at a few draft battles that I did recently for my War Day, Day 1 Collection Day battles. And, these are battles that went really well for me, and I wanted to share with you guys. And as you've heard before, Draft Challenge is one of my favorite, if not my favorite modes in this game. So I'm always really excited, when I get the opportunity to do it, whenever they have any sort of like a draft challenge going on, for the special challenges. That's definitely my preferred mode to go to. For War Day, collection battles as well, it's definitely something that I prioritize. So we can see here that I kind of went for a big beatdown push deck, and I got a little bit of kind of spell bait in there too, because I got like the Goblin Gang and the Princess and the Fire Spirits and stuff. I got the Golem, but I've also got the Graveyard, so that makes it super, super heavy. So I'm going all in here. I decided to commit fully and go in with the Golem Graveyard, and it pays off pretty well. Do a ton of damage to the tower. But you got to keep in mind that he now has all of this stuff that he put on defense coming down the lane to attack me. So I use the poison there to get some chip damage off on the two princes, and then I get that Dark Goblin as well, and I absolutely, terribly beef it on the Fire Spirits there, and they just died to the Dark Prince, so I kind of messed that one up, and I lose my tower there, which is unfortunate. But let's see if I'm able to pull it together here as the match progresses. I got the Princess going in the opposite lane there, and that's intentional because she often lives a lot longer if you play her in the opposite lane from where you're trying to push, and then she provides that support consistently throughout. We got the Baby Dragon there, and he's kind of running that splash damage roll, taking out those Royal Hogs there. And then, of course, his Dark Goblin is doing a good job of shutting it down. He used the Ice Golem, but it was a little bit late, and it didn't quite catch it on the Baby Dragon there on defense. So it didn't quite work out for him, but he tried. Let's close this window here. If you guys are hearing a dog barking, that's because we got one. Oops, my neighbor's dog is barking. So hopefully, he's doing okay. Alright, so anyway, we got the Golem going here. Big push going with the Cannon Cart and the Golem. He's got the double Prince that he's running, so it's a pretty deadly combo, but he's also got a couple, range support units, and so I'm able to take good use, or make good use of that poison, get a lot of value from it, and, then continue on with the push. So I get that tower down, and I successfully defend against the Royal Hogs here, but I take a ton of damage to my tower there. They're pretty hard to stop, honestly. If you guys have gone up against them before, you know that they can be relatively difficult. They do a ton of damage to the tower pretty quickly, and if you have a reliable counter, they're easy to handle, but if you don't, or you don't have enough elixir, then they're pretty difficult to handle. So I use the Golem defensively there, and then I actually use the Goblin Gang to kind of take out that support that he had behind there, and then I'm going for a big push here. The Golem and the Cannon Cart is a really powerful combination. He goes for the Royal Hogs. The Fire Spirits do an amazing job of shutting them down. I get the tower down, or rather he gets the tower down to 45 health with his Fireball there and the Royal Hogs, but I'm able to get a huge push going there with the Golem and the Cannon Cart and everything behind it, and I managed to actually take the win there at the very end. Alright guys, let's see what I do here. I decided to go for the guards, I think, even though the Fire Spirits are kind of accounted for them. I just like the guards, it's a good card. I make the mistake of the skeletons there. Should have gone for the Ice Golem, I think. Get the Royal Giant over the Lava Hound. And this is another hard decision to make, but I think I choose the Graveyard if I'm not mistaken, because I don't really want the Hog and the Royal Giant in there. Seems a little bit redundant to me. So I go for the Graveyard, and I know that's also a little bit redundant, but the Graveyard can play that defensive role too if necessary, and it provides something that doesn't attack only buildings, whereas the Hog Rider and the Royal Giant both attack only buildings. Now we got the guards split here in the back for my opener. You'll see that he has the freeze in this deck. Let's see if he makes use of it or not. I got to defend against that Hog that he's got coming down the lane there. So I got the E-Wiz, I got the Royal Giant supported by the E-Wiz. That's a really powerful combination as well. The E-Wiz does a great job of supporting the Royal Giant, but of course he's got his Executioner. And in the meantime, my Valkyrie over there to the right is taking a ton of damage, or doing a ton of damage to my tower. And again, I slip up and I say my Valkyrie when I meant to say his Valkyrie over there is doing a ton of damage to my tower. So here comes the Hog Rider and the Executioner behind it, and that's a really deadly combination, and there's the clutch freeze. Executioner is taking out all my guards, so I kind of desperately use that Miner to defend against the Hog, and then I use the E-Wiz to take out the rest of that Executioner because it only had a sliver of health left. Valkyrie comes in clutch there for him, and he's able to take out all of my units there with just the one Valkyrie. I use the skeletons here, try to soak up some of the damage. Doesn't do too well. It does take out the Valkyrie pretty much before she connects to the tower, but it doesn't destroy the fire spirits. You know, it didn't kite them as well as I was hoping for. I decided to go in with just the Royal Giant and the Graveyard here. It's a very high risk move, but I thought, okay, he's only got a little bit of health left, and it pays off there. Do a ton of damage to the tower, and I kind of take it out before he has time to react. He had the Executioner there already, and then used the Ice Golem to try to distract the Graveyard, but the Executioner was already locked onto my Royal Giant. So, you know, the Royal Giant did a good job of tanking and also chipping away at the tower while the skeletons finished up the job. I used the Miner there to try to attack the Executioner and distract it, but it's a little bit late. Either way, I'm able to defend the tower there without it going down. And at this point, I kind of have a big push going in the left already. I got some support, and I see that he puts the Lava Hound out there in the right. So I decide, okay, I'm going to keep pushing left and just go for the 3-crown victory. And it kind of gets really close here. I decide, okay, I'll keep chipping away with the Fireball, chip away at that Executioner as well, but now I have to answer that Lava Hound. And it's difficult because I don't really have an answer to the Lava Hound other than the E-Wiz. It's just the E-Wiz is like basically my only air attacking unit in this deck that I've drafted here. Of course I got the Fireball as well. So I decide, okay, I'm going to go all out. I'm going to put on the pressure and try to get the 3-crown victory before he can take out my tower there. And I actually pulled off in the last second there. He had Rocket, but it didn't matter because I was able to take out his tower first with the Fireball and get the 3-crown victory before he could rocket my tower and get it once the match ended there before it went to overtime. I decided to go for the Hunter over the Ice Wiz. I really like the Ice Wiz, but the Hunter just has a particular utility that the Ice Wiz doesn't. I go Guards over Skeletons, and then of course I go Rage over Heal. In this particular deck, because I have the Balloon in there, the Rage spell is actually going to be pretty, you know, what's the word? It's going to be good, for lack of a better term. It's going to work out pretty well. It's going to be pretty competent, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's going to fit in there pretty well. Going to synergize pretty well, however you want to say it. Anyway, the Rage spell will work out. It'll combine well with the Balloon. He's going for an aggressive push here on the left, so I decided to go with the Balloon in the right to try to get some tower damage off on the right there, and then try to destroy his big push in the left there, because that'll cause him to have to answer the Balloon, and if he doesn't answer the Balloon, I'll basically take a tower. So I got his tower down to really low, and then the Guards do a great job of defending there, and you notice that the Guards actually, you know, because they have like a slight range, they don't have quite melee range, they got a slightly longer range because of their little spears, that they actually are able to outrange the Golem's death damage, so they didn't die there when the Golem died, whereas something like Goblins probably would have, or they would have at least taken some damage. So it's kind of similar to the minions. When they're above a Golem, they won't take any of the death damage because they've got a very small slight range, and it allows them to be far away enough so that they don't take any damage from that Golem's, you know, death damage effect. I got the Hunter there, you know, doing his job, taking out that support there. He goes here and gets one shot off, and that's pretty good. It takes out like half of what's left of the tower's health. And then he's going here for a Magic Archer and Golem push. I know I can't really take out that Golem, so I've got to take out the Magic Archer first. So I go for the Spear Goblins, but he just immediately zaps them. Not really the best move, but I decided just to kind of do some damage to it, and then I get the Dark Prince down to finish it off. And then I've got the Guards and the Dark Prince taking out that Golem there. And they do a good job, but not before it can take the tower. And now I know, okay, he's supporting it heavily with the Witch and everything. I've got my Dark Prince and Guard still alive, so I put the Giant up at the bridge and it tanks the Witch, and my remaining support cards take out that Witch, and I go for a big push in the right here, and I also use my remaining Elixir in the left there. I use the Balloon combined with the Rage like I was talking about earlier, because I knew that that big push in the right was going to take out that right tower for sure, so I decided to put that extra Elixir in the left. Look at that left tower's health there, oh man. Alright guys. Then, of course, I got to defend against this Golem, so I go heavy for defense. That Hunter was doing work there. He took out that Battle Ram really well, and then he stayed alive to help support that Golem push, or defend against that Golem push. And it's getting pretty scary here at this point because I know he has that tower, so I'm like, okay, he's gonna take the tower, so I gotta go all in because, you know, I gotta go for at least the 2 crowns to get back in the game, so I had to take out that left tower. And then at this point I saw that he invested some elixir like the battle ram and a few other things on offense, and I got the balloon still alive, and I got a giant in there too, so I make sure to go really heavy on offense and just try to get that 3-crown victory before he can do anything, and I managed to do so it works out great for me. Alright guys, that's it for tonight's video. It's another one of those I love draft challenge videos. Sorry for the credit quality in the beginning, you know, I had to edit a few things out because, you know, I was sneezing or coughing or whatever and had to get a drink of water, and the dog was barking and all that great stuff, so I appreciate those of you that watched all the way through. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and have a good night.